Hello everyone, Car Blogger 101.2 here, and today I'll be reviewing my steering wheel and stand and stuff. This here is called a Logitech G920 and G29 racing wheel set. It costs around £345 altogether, and I absolutely love it. It's made from genuine materials such as real leather here. It's quite nice to use, and it is made for the Xbox by Logitech. And even the gear stick here moves like a normal one, and so on, even as real leather as well. The pedals there are also made from real materials, so I think they're made of aluminium, I can't really remember. But when you combine all this together, it is very heavy. So I do have trouble moving it sometimes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate to you what it's like owning one of these by doing something on Forza Horizon 4. And I have chosen 4 cars that I believe will reflect how good this can be used. So, let's get to it. Right, here I am on Forza Horizon 4, and as you can see I'm in my picking cars listing. So, the first car I'm going to choose is my... Hang on just a minute. Hang on, where is it? Oh, yeah. The first car I'm going to choose is my Pagani Huayra, and the reason for this being is because this car here is quite special to me in a way. This is, of course, my dream car, and ever since I got Forza Horizon 4, I've had the car ever since. When I got the chance to get one, I couldn't just not buy one, because I love this car so much. What this car can do is inevitably unbelievable. So let me do something quick and I will get on the road. Right, so what I'm going to do is go to the far end of the map, and I am going to travel to Edinburgh in 4 different cars that I believe explain how much fun it is to use this Logitech steering wheel. But first I'm just going to quickly change it is to manual. Okay, that's good. So this car in real life has got around 730 horsepower. It has a 0 to 60 time of 3.2 seconds, although some people say it's 3.8. No, 2.8. And it has a top speed theoretically of 230, although some people say it's 248 for some reason, I'm not sure why. This car was unveiled at the Geneva Motor Show in 2012 to replace the Pagani Zonda, and as a result of it, I absolutely adore it. The thing is though, not many people have heard of the Huayra. It's named after a god in Italy, by Horatio Pagani, and yeah, this car to me is perfection in every way. Oh god, oops. Even the interior, for example, in this car in real life, there'll be carbon fibre, leather, all sorts of authentic real materials inside, and as a result of it makes, apparently, according to Richard Hammond, makes it feel as special as it is and as expensive as it is. Only 100 regular Huayras were ever made, and only 4 of them are UK right-hand drive. And that's what makes these cars super exclusive. And as a result of that, these things cost likely to be around well over £1 million in British money. And the story of this car behind it for me, I never knew about this car beforehand, but a long time ago, when I lived here, well, when I first moved here, I got an Xbox 360 from my dad, and my carers got me some games for it, and one of them was Need for Speed Most Wanted. And when I played that, I worked my way through the Most Wanted list, and worked my way up to number 2. At the time, it was this exact car, in this exact colour, but when I won it, and raced it, and beat it, and got it, when I first drove it on the game, I absolutely fell in love with it. Oh god. That's the whole reason why I've got one now on this game. The second car, on the other hand, that I'm going to be using is a lot different in every way, apart from there's only one similarity. It's Italian. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly drive to the Horizon Festival and switch cars to my next one, and I am going to tunnel blast it. And if you don't know what tunnel blasting is, then you're not really a petrol head, in my eyes. Basically, tunnel blasting is, no matter what car it is, you go full throttle in a tunnel, make as much noise as you possibly can, and I know the perfect car for the job, and I absolutely love the sound of it. And some people may approve of this choice, some won't. My next car that I'm going to use is the most requested car for this game possible. It is known as the Lamborghini Huracan Performante. This, of course, is the track version of the very fast Huracan itself, with a few upgrades onto it, like they put this thing called Lamborghini ALA on it. I can't remember what the AL stands for. I know that the last bit is Aerodynamica, but it helps because in the rear end of the car there's these flaps, and they operate where the airflow goes on which side of the wing. So what this does is maximise downforce in the corners. But wait, another thing, the flaps close when it's going in a straight line to be as fast as possible. Stock, what you're looking at is around 622 horsepower naturally aspirated, 5.2 litre V10, and quite good brakes as well. But this one here, I have tuned it to a mighty 1,111 horsepower. So it is pretty fast, which I do quite like. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to head towards the motorway, and once I've done that, what I'm going to do is turn the volume up so that, and be quiet for the time being while I go through the tunnel on the motorway. And then after I've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my third switch to a sort of car that I adore quite a lot. This car stock would do 0 to 60 in around 2.8 seconds and have a top speed of 202. My one, on the other hand, has a top speed of 250 something, with over 1,000 horsepower and 0 to 60 in just over 2.5 seconds. As a result of it, it is pretty fast. It is amazingly fast. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fast travel here to the near the junction for the motorway, so that I can actually go onto the motorway and do my so that I can actually do my tunnel blasting. Apologies if I do crash into some of the other cars, but that's only because they're in the way. This car here on Forza is the most requested car, was the most requested car in the game. And as a result of it, on the game it's worth around 20 million credits. And it is pretty amazing how much you can get out of this. So I'm going to turn the volume to around 50. I've done this before, and no one complained. So I'm going to be at maximum gear, low RPM, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to change down gears. What a noise! That is why I love this car so much. That V10 is just something else above another planet. That's why. It's the only reason I love this car. I love its sound and also the way it looks and the aerodynamic efficiency it has. And my next switch is quite an important car. In fact, no, both of my next two cars are quite important cars. That's if you love JDM cars and the Fast and Furious franchise. So I'm gonna drive to my nearest house and switch to my next car. With this steering wheel, children and adults can use it. It is also height adjustable as well. So children like my brother, my youngest brother, can also use it, which is a good thing. An upside to this as well is that you can also learn how to drive with this. Well, you can teach yourself how to drive with this, because obviously it's got the gear stick and stuff in it. And do not freak out with the collection of this sort of car I've got, because it is from Nissan, and I have got quite a few. Oh, you can also use the pedals to change the car manufacturer. Yeah. So, it is a Nissan Skyline GTR, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 R34s, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 R33s, and 2 of them LMs. Along with the fact I've got an R32 and an R31, and a couple of R35s as well. These cars will always have a special place in my heart because of how great they are. I love them a lot. They've got excellent sound, the way they look, the drama they produce. It's something unbelievable. It's just something you don't exactly get in other cars, the same sort of price. And as a result of that, that's why I love them so much. And so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get into this R34 and quickly change its spoiler, because I don't really want it, that spoiler's gone. So just bear with me for a moment. And I'm going to get rid of this drift suspension as well. Actually no, I'm going to keep the wing. Yeah, I'm going to keep the wing. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go into drivetrain. Not drivetrain. Platform and handling, and get rid of the drift suspension, so I can have the race suspension and hopefully would help with the handling a bit more. This car is producing 796 horsepower, and that's more than a stock Pagani, and it'll do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds and a top speed of 228, although sometimes it can go up higher than that. This car has still got its stock sound, as I love the sound of Skylines, so it is going to be quite nice to hear. I'm not going to tunnel blast this, of one or two reasons. It's because I'm now going to be using the manual with clutch gearbox, so sometimes I might drift out in the corners. I don't know though, we'll see what we can do. I am going to rev it a few times though, because why not? I may be a petrolhead, but I can't exactly remember how much power these things created stock. This R34 was unveiled in 2002, and as a result of it, Forza people added the R34 in as a special car, or hard to find car as they call it. Well, I've got 9 of them, and they cost me well over 500,000 credits a piece. So as a result of it, these are pretty special to me. And you can't buy these in the auction. You can buy these in the auction house, but you can't buy them in the auto show because they're apparently that rare. Same with the same with the another car that I wasn't able to add into this, which is one of my all-time favourite cars, the Ferrari 488 Pista. It is a masterpiece as well, in my eyes. The controls for this is actually quite hot. You'll get used to them eventually once you have it. But what I find with this, there is a few complaints that I do have to make with this steering wheel. One is the fact that you don't really get a lot for your money, but you do get quite valuable pieces of machinery pieces for it. But what I could have asked for as well is for it to come with a chair, because right now I'm actually using my chair that I use for my desk. And one more thing as well, instead of metal, they could have used probably one of my favourite materials ever. Where was I? Oh yeah. My favourite material ever. Oh god. Okay, I wasn't paying attention there. My favourite material ever, which is carbon fibre. Because I just love it because of the way it looks, the way it feels. It's unlike anything else in the world. That's why I love it so much. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make the final switch to... I'm not actually going to drive to the house this time because I am running out of time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to travel to my nearest house and get in my next car, which is also part of the Forza franchise, which is a car that I also do have sort of a soft spot for, because I have been in one when I'm not supposed to. But this here, what I'm going to choose now, is called a Toyota Supra. And as a result of it, it is an interesting car for me, because I do like it quite a lot. I love the way it sounds, the way it feels, plus the fact that it is also quite valuable in money at the moment. So yeah, this here I have done it in a Fast and Furious, the very first Fast and Furious film. I've not only customised it to that much, I've also upgraded it to that much. So the Fast and Furious one, you'd get around, what was it? In the Fast and Furious version of this, you'd get around 550 horsepower in the Supra, and it'll do 0 to 60 in around 3.8 seconds or 4.3. well, my version here is the sort of same as that, but I'll do 0 to 60 in 3.8 if I'm highly skilled enough to do it. But as a result of that, this car I will always have a soft spot for in my heart. And as a result of that, we better make our way down to Edinburgh now. Let's quickly set a route there. And yeah, so I'm going to go to my Edinburgh Castle, which isn't really far away, but it'll be a good time to end the video there because not many people can afford that castle in the game because I had to wait a long time to get it. This car though, stock, you'll be looking around 320 horsepower and 0 to 60 in sub 5 seconds and a top speed of 170. But in the Fast and Furious edition, you get around 0 to 60 time of 4.3 and a top speed of 185. Oh god, that was me not matching up the revs properly. Some people don't really understand what it's like to be in a turbocharged car. So what I'm going to do to you right now is explain what it's like to be in a car like this. A twin turbo car. So in the actual car, so you've got a boost gauge, and between 3,000–4,000 RPM the boost starts to build, and once it gets to that point you get pushed into the seat with a you get pushed into the seat with a quite an energetic pulse. So it's one of the most exciting things that most probably ever happened to you because of how powerful it is. And I love it for that. Oh god, I've just taken a wrong turn. Oh god, keep on missing the gears. Just give me a minute. Oh. So this car, with hardly any miles on the clock in real life, you'll be expecting around, European editions, they don't make much of those because they'll be quite rare, but imports start from around 9 grand. So being a Supra owner is, well, a JDM car is quite depressing sometimes apparently, because if you were to watch Jack Ultramotive's video about his R32 Skyline, he explains the day-to-day life of actually owning an R32 Skyline. So yeah, I'll put that in the link in the description. But for now, I must say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye.